All right, so we're just gonna warm up. We're gonna do what's called like a three-part squat. So you're just gonna bend over, touch your toes, pull up on your toes. You feel a stretch through the back of your legs, and then you're gonna come down into a squat, and you'll kind of put your elbows. I'm just gonna turn this a bit, and then you'll put your elbows like down in to push your knees out, and then you're just gonna kind of rock side to side just to open up your hips. And then you're gonna tip back over, bend over, stand up, and then we'll do that again. So tipping over, pull up on your toes, feel the stretch in the back of the legs, come down into a squat, push the elbows out into the knees, and then just kind of rocking side to side. And then bending over, stand up. We'll do that one more time. So tipping over, pull up on those toes, sitting our butts down, pushing open our legs. All right, and then we'll come down onto the ground or a mat, whatever you want to use. And we're gonna do what's called like a 90-90 stretch. So it's gonna look like a little pretzel. So you're gonna put one leg at 90 this way, one leg back, and then you're gonna come up and you're just gonna like kind of flip them the opposite direction. So you're just going back and forth like windshield wipers, and it just opens up your hips. Kind of mobility, flexibility. We'll do two more each direction. All right. And then the next one, we're just going to come into a lunge on the ground. So one knee down, other one planted up. And then we're just going to put our hands on our knee. And you're just going to push kind of forward. So you feel that stretch in the back of your back hip. And then come up. And then just press forward again. You should feel a stretch all through the back leg. We're going to do 5 on each side. And one more. And then switching sides. Yeah, and just feel that kind of nice slow pull and push, stretch back and forward. We want to make sure that it's a dynamic movement just to get our joints lubricated, increase our heart rate a bit. All right, one more. And then what we're gonna do after this, we're gonna get straight into the glute portion. We're gonna do kind of like a circuit style again. So it's gonna be 3 rounds of 10 repetitions of everything. And we're gonna use the glute band for like the whole part of the glute workout. So we're just gonna pick a light or medium band, putting it up above your knees. Make sure that you're not on your knee joint. All right. And then the first one's gonna be lateral walks. So we're just gonna turn sideways. Do you have enough space to go side to side? And then we're gonna do 10 side steps. So your hips can kind of push back a bit. So you're slightly leaned over at 45 degrees. And we're just gonna take steps to one side 10 times and then steps to the other. So just little space, have that tension on the band. I only have enough space to do 5 one direction, so I'm going to do 5 and 5. And then go back the other way. So you should feel this in the back of your butt, a little bit on the sides. All right, once you have 10 of those done on each side, we're going to come down onto our mat again. And we're going to do a glute bridge. So I'm just going to turn it this direction. So onto our back. Feet are planted. We want to have about like the more your heels are at your butt, it's going to be more of a glute exercise. The further your feet are away, you'll feel it more into the back of your legs and your hamstrings. So your preference, what you prefer, coming down onto your back. And then make sure you keep that resistance on the band so knees are out. And then we're just going to come up and squeeze and back down. And we'll do 10 of those. Make sure you get full hip extension, squeeze your butt at the top. And last one. All right, then we're gonna get into clamshell. So this one you can keep the band on, or you can take it off if it's too much resistance. But we're gonna come laying on one side. Feet are gonna be stacked on top of each other, and we're gonna use our heels or ankles as like a pivot point, and we're gonna be opening and closing our legs. I like to lay fully down and kind of rest my arm, whatever's comfortable for you. So you're just gonna kind of squeeze open and back down. You should feel it throughout your whole glute. Nice, slow, and controlled movement. And these ones you don't need much resistance to feel. You can even do these without a band. Last one, and then we'll flip and do the other side. Again, 10 on each side. And make sure those heels are lined up, touching each other. And then just open, squeeze, whatever range of motion feels comfortable for you. Two more. Last one. And then we're going to stand back up for the last two exercises of this round, and then we'll take a rest. So we're going to do banded squats. So you might have to adjust if your band's sliding around. So again, just getting to whatever comfortable position for a squat that's for you. And then making sure the weight stays in our heels. Keep that resistance so our knees are out. And we're just going to do 10 full body weight squats. So just down and up. Yeah, nice, slow, and controlled, not super fast. Feel the squeeze in your butt. Last one. All right. And then final movement for this round is going to be bent over abductions. So I'll turn sideways so you can see it. So you're just going to, again, at that like 45, like we did with our lateral walks, you're basically going to roll the outer edges of your feet out. So we're here, we're just pulling and opening our legs. I'll go this way too. So we're just kind of going open and closed, and you should feel it in your butt. Kind of like the clamshells, only we're doing the same legs at the same time. Last one. All right, shaking it out, and then we'll take a minute rest, grab some water, and then we'll do two more rounds of that. If you feel like the band was like pretty easy for most of those exercises, you can increase, or if you have two light bands, you can double up and put another one on. Oh, I don't know what I did with another one. But yeah, if it felt like it was too easy, you can always double them up. All right, here we go. We'll do round two. So back into our lateral steps, 10 each direction. Again, bent over at that 45. Nice, slow, and controlled, pushing off with the one foot. 10 one direction, 10 the other, or if you have to do 5 and 5, whatever space you have. Awesome job. Shake it out once you're done those 10. And then coming back down onto our mat or the ground for glute bridge. So you gotta make sure that resistance is on that band, knees are out, heels are planted, and then just drive up, full hip extension, squeeze back down. All these are nice, slow, controlled movements for that tension on the muscles. I might have lost count. We might have done one extra in there. I don't know. There we go. All right, next back into those clamshells, picking whichever side's comfortable for you first. Keep those heels together and then open and squeeze, just isolating that top butt cheek. And one more. And flipping over to the other side. And once you're set up, make sure you're on that hip, belly button's drawn in, open and close. And that's 10. Then shake it out, standing back up into our banded body weight squats. All right, so tension on that band, knees are out over our toes, belly button's drawn in, chest is up, 10 reps, here we go. Halfway. All right, last one for the round 2. Bent over abducts again, coming out sideways, bent over slightly, and just rolling out onto the outer edges of our feet. And using our butt muscles to be the one moving those bands. There we go. That's 10 for me. Shake it out. Grab some water. Into our final round here coming up. All right, here we go. Lateral steps. 10 on each side. Last 5 for me. All right. And then back into our glute bridge. So back onto our backs, feet are planted, drive and squeeze up. Make sure you have that resistance. Knees are tracking out. We don't want them to fall or cave in. Last one. All right, back into clamshells. Final 10 on each side of these. All right. Flipping over. Like, I'm definitely starting to feel the burn in my butt. I don't know about the rest of you. All right, here we go. 10. All right. Shaking it out, standing back up. Into our 10 body weight squats. Gotta make sure the weight stays in those heels. Knees are out. Trying to get full range of motion, whatever's comfortable for you. All right, that's 10 for me. Here we go, into bent over abducts. Final movement for our glutes today. Again, hands on hips, whatever's comfortable. Knees go in and then squeeze and drive out. Awesome job. All right. Into our abs. Again, this one's going to be the same 3 rounds of 10 reps. So on a mat or on the ground, whatever's most comfortable for you. Grab some water if you need. The first movement is going to be heel touches. So kind of coming back into our glute bridge position. We're going to come up and then hands are going to be on the ground and you're kind of twisting from side to side so that your hand taps, your fingers tap your heels. So we're going to do 10 on each side. Again, squeeze your butt, pull your belly button in. Here we go. Good, we're reaching, trying to get our fingers to touch those heels or go past. This is working the sides of our abs. And you're getting a bit more glutes too. All right, next up, mountain climbers. So coming into like that high plank position. So we're gonna do them nice and slow, 10 on each side. So wrists are stacked underneath of our hands, or under our shoulders, sorry. We're gonna drive our opposite knee to elbow. So it's gonna be cross, 1, 2. We're gonna be doing 20 total, 10 on each side. Nice squeeze. Again, do what feels comfortable for you for reps. All right, shaking it out. I know some people like to do them fast, so you can, but slowing them down, you'll feel a bit more of that burn. Next one's gonna be plank hip dips. So again, coming down into normal plank position with our elbows stacked under our shoulders. What we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate side to side with our hips, sort of tapping the ground on either side. So it's gonna look like this. So on our toes, we're gonna twist and come down. You can go from your knees too, so you don't have to be on your toes. Again, we're gonna do 10 on each side. Here we go. Last one. All right, and at any point throughout this, if you need to stop, take rest, pause it, go back, do what you need that feels comfortable for your body. Next up, bicycles, open up onto our back. So this one, again, pulling our belly button into the ground, and then opposite elbow to opposite knee. We're just gonna come up, keep that chin tucked, feet come up, we're just gonna touch opposite and extend. Four more. All right. Last one, again, stay on our back. It's going to be a sit up, like toe tap crunch. So feet are extended. You can have a bend in your knees wherever your toes are most comfortable for you. Feet are flexed. We're going to keep our hands, our fingers pointed, and we're just going to like lift our upper body to touch our toes and feel that little crunch in our stomach. So tap or whatever range is good for you. And a hold and pause and back down. Two more. All right. Shaking it out, laying down, catching your breath like I'm going to. And then we'll have two more rounds of that and then we'll cool down. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm already sweating. All right. Again, catching your breath, get that heart rate to come back down again, get some recovery and rest. And then we'll be starting back at the top again with our heel touches. The other option is if having your hips up is too tiring for you, you can keep your butt on the ground and again, just go side to side as a modification. Give it a couple more seconds and then we'll get started again. All right, big breath. Here we go. Back into our toe touches, lifting those hips up or keeping them on the ground. Here we go, side to side. All right, I might have miscounted that. I'm counting that as round two. Into our mountain climbers. Again, wrists under our shoulders. Either round, if you want, you can do slow or fast. This round, I think I'm going to switch it up and do fast mountain climbers. Here we go. 10 on each side. 7, 9, and 10. All right. Shake out those wrists. Coming down onto our elbows, we're going to do those plank hip dips again. You can do from your knees or from your toes. Make sure those elbows are underneath our shoulders, belly button's drawn in, squeezing the legs. Here we go, 10 on each side. Again, whatever range of motion feels comfortable for you. Two more on each side. All right. Shaking that out, do some circles. Here we go, flipping onto our backs into those bicycles again. Catching our breath. Again, chin is tucked, hands behind the ears. Here we go, opposite arm, opposite leg. Whew. I'm like this one too. I'm feeling it in those abs. How about you? All right. Heart rate is up. Breathing's intense. Getting sweaty. Into our sit up toe tap crunches again. Extend those legs up. Feet are flexed. Hands pointed to the sky. Here we go. Little pulses. Two more. Whew. All right. Laying on the ground. Catch your breath. Take what you need. Grab some water. One final round coming up. Like these workouts are really good too, because if you're traveling or you have small space or limited equipment, you can just take a band, pack it in your suitcase, put it in your purse or carry on if you're traveling, and you can literally do these workouts from anywhere just to get a quick sweat and get some movement started for your day. All right, here we go. Going into our final round of abs for butts and guts today. All right, feet are planted, hips go up. Here we go, toe touches, 10 on each side. Halfway. Last one. All right, flipping over into those mountain climbers. I think I'm going to keep the faster ones again. Your choice if you do slow or fast. Here we go, up into that position or from your elbows, 10 on each side. One more each side. Whew, those are done. Into the worst one, I think, plank hip dips. Again, from your knees or from your toes, rotating onto the sides of the hips. Here we go. One more each side. Whew. Okay, final two exercises into bicycles. Flip over onto our back. Take a sec here if you need to, catch your breath. Bringing those knees up, feet are flexed, hands behind the ears. Here we go, opposite arm, opposite elbow, 10 on each. Woo, woo, feel that burn. Woo. All right, final move today. Sit up toe crunches. Again, get those legs extended, feet are flexed, hands to the sky. Here we go, final 10. Little pulse. Keep breathing. Whew. Last one. Shake it out. Let's get into a little static stretch, cool down. We'll do a little bit of scorpion, or cobra, sorry. So just coming full onto our stomach. Flat out, keep those elbows tight. Hands under the shoulders. Just kind of pressing up if that's comfortable for you in your low back. Stretching out the stomach. Minimum, try to do about 30 seconds here. I know I rush these too. All right, then we're coming down into yoga, like downward dog. So push your hips up. You can pedal out your feet, get a bit of a stretch into your calves. Push through those hands. Or you can stay static. All right, coming down into a child's pose. So knees go out, toes stay together. Reach those arms out in front of you. You can rest your head on the ground. All right, and we'll come up into a seated position. Bring those feet together. Bring them in for whatever's comfortable. Pressing your elbows into your legs, just opening up the hips again. You just slight lean forward. You'll get more of a stretch. Again, should be comfortable, but not painful. And you can cross your legs if you want. Grab one wrist with your hand, come up and over, and you're just gonna lean to one side. Feel a stretch throughout side of your chest, a little bit into your abs. And switch sides. And then last one, we're just gonna get into our glutes a bit. Did this last week as well. Just that threading of our hands between our legs, feet are flexed, and then just pulling up our glute. Feel that stretch. Like this is one of my favorites, just to get that glute muscle stretched back out after we just worked it and tightened it up. And switch sides. So again, I record these workouts every Saturday at 9:30. If you happen to miss it, I do record them so you can get the link. All right. And that is it.